really was to
that I felt like I needed, and I was comfortable in that space of just me and God.
Hope is offensive. Hope is desperate.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to Jumpstart Your Vision with Coach Karen Hilton. I am Coach Karen Hilton. Come on in here. It is a rainy Monday morning here in my home state or in my home city. What's it like where you guys are hanging out this morning? It's going to be a great week, and I cannot wait to unpack our topic today, personal branding. So here's my question. Do you think personal branding is dead? Remember personal branding from back in the day? We used to talk about it all the time in leadership circles, in development circles, in the corporate space. As an entrepreneur, personal branding was the thing to talk about. We're going to talk about it today. And as we get ready to kind of scoot our way out of Women's History Month, I think it's a really appropriate topic for women in general, because the world feels a little bit different, right? We are more of a digital society than we've ever been. And so I want to talk about it for everybody, but I'm interested to know what our vision-driven female entrepreneurs, workplace leaders, and mission-minded power players think about this topic. So come on in here. I am curious to hear what you think about that. But first, we got to do the order of business. We got to get our coffee. Do you have your coffee? Coffee, kombucha, tea, water, whatever it is. So my husband and I have done this thing. You guys know this. We've talked about this. 20 ounces of water within the first 30 minutes of getting up every morning. And of course, I started doing that. Well, I mean, it's a good thing to do anyway, but I heard about it because Instagram taught me that. I saw a story from a neurologist who said the number one problem that he sees from his clients who have had catastrophic strokes is that they are not consuming 20 ounces of water first thing in the morning. So that is not medical advice. This is not a medical show. Please talk to your doctor before you do anything. But that got my attention. And honestly, I feel better when I don't have that 20 ounces of water first thing in the morning. I'm telling you, I'm kind of cloudy. But anyway, come on in here. If you are joining us live, I want to say welcome. Thank you for taking the time to join us this morning. Today is actually going to be a pretty quick show because this week, Monday through Friday, I am in a class. I'm in a certification class, an advanced certification class, because y'all know development is something that we have to do for ourselves, which leads me to my topic. But first, let me just say good morning to Coach Don Kovaleski, who is in the background making all the magic happen. And we appreciate you so much, Coach John. And we have the amazing Amanda Bowen. Come on in here, girl. Hey, girl. Hey. How you doing? It's good to see you. I hope you had a great weekend. For those of you who don't know, Amanda is part of our marketing team, and she's absolutely amazing. It looks like you had fun this weekend, Amanda. I'm just saying. Yeah. Thank you, Facebook. I'm going to get a little coffee. We've got the incredible Coach Kim Dudash, who is just an incredible part of our community. She's one of our OGs. Y'all go follow Coach Kim Dudash at Dudash Executive Coaching. And I don't have favorites, and my favorite little slice of heaven, Dudash Farms, which is tucked away in Dandridge, Tennessee. Y'all go see her and check out her website. If you're looking for a coach, she is absolutely amazing. Today, we are going to be talking about one of my favorite topics. In fact, I have an entire workshop around this topic called personal branding. So I have questions. And my question is, do you think personal branding is dead? You can be 100% honest. Yes or no. Do you think personal branding is dead? Drop it in the chat. If you're watching on replay, drop it in the chat. And by the way, if you are watching us on YouTube, hey, everybody, on YouTube, our YouTube fam, we are super excited that you are here. We are going to be expanding that space. And don't tell anybody, this is top secret, but our podcast is coming. Why? Because we get requests for a podcast. Like, hey, Karen, I would love to listen, but I'm working or I'm doing the kids in the morning, that sort of a thing. And so that's coming, you guys. I can't wait for that. I'm pretty excited. All right. Okay. So John and Amanda say, no, personal branding isn't dead. And I'm really glad to hear you say that, because you're exactly right. And I'm going to prove it to you today. But at any rate, do me a favor, for those of you that are watching us live, if you're just coming in, good morning, good morning, good morning. Come on in here. Do me a favor, share this with your network. We want to get vision trending. Why? Because around here, we know that vision is the secret superpower for 21st century leaders. Listen, competency is great, but it will not be enough. Knowing who is the right person to talk to is great, but it's not enough. Did you know that? That's right. So what's the superpower in a time when we are living in one of the most disruptive times in our history? It's vision. Now, you got to follow along. So like and follow for more. If you have not followed us on social media, you will learn all the things, tips, strategies, tools, and you'll meet some of the most incredible vision-driven leaders who will teach you how they did it. All right. Okay. So come on in here. We have already kind of given the green check that personal branding isn't dead. So I'm curious, what do you understand personal branding is? I want you to think about it for a minute. What in your kind of world has personal branding meant? Personal branding. Somebody pop it in the chat. I am going to just, I'm going to refer to a few things to give you a few clues. But do not miss this, you guys, because personal branding is a little bit of a secret power. So first of all, let's talk about where personal branding even came from. Can anybody tell me when personal branding first came on the scene? Any idea? It's a trick question and they're bonus points. Where did personal branding come from? Anybody want to take a guess? When was the first time we heard personal branding? I'll wait for a second. I'm just going to let y'all come on in here. But I'm curious, when did personal branding first come on the scene? Take a guess. Okay, I will give it to you. Let me just make sure. Okay, nobody has spilled the beans yet. So I am going to give you, and this is going to blow your mind a little bit, but personal branding was not mentioned first in 2000 or in 2015 or anywhere else. It was first mentioned in a Fast Company article by a guy by the name of Tom Peters. Yep, 1997. Talk about a throwback. He wrote a book called The Brand Called You. It's by Tom Peters. And he first mentioned it in an article where he was talking about one of the things that at the time was one of the highlights of what leaders of all kinds were missing. Personal branding. Now, I know, and you know, that you remember what our mothers used to tell us, right? You know, your reputation matters, and it does. But let's talk a little bit about how we use it. Personal branding has always been centered around the individual doing some of the work that folks like Amanda and Heather and some of the other folks in our community who deal with branding. It has to do with applying those concepts to ourselves. Now, I remember when I first heard about personal branding and I was like, personal branding, I'm not interested. That sounds like a used car salesman. Anybody else have that feeling? But here's the thing, friend, I don't care what you are doing in your life. If you are a leader, and remember, we're talking about leadership is if you have interaction with others, whether that's individuals in your family, whether that is in the workplace, whether that is in the marketplace as an entrepreneur, If you are interacting with others, friend, you are a leader. That means you have the ability to have influence. So whether you want a leadership title or not, you are a leader. And the reason that this is important is because as we interact in the circles and the environments that God has given to us, right? You guys know that I'm a Jesus girl, and I believe that God has given us each territories. I have a territory, you have a territory, your neighbor has a territory, that person that you don't like has a territory. And it really doesn't matter what that territory is or how much of a platform we have, that sort of thing. We have a territory. That means we have an assignment, right? Maybe your assignment is in the workplace. Maybe your assignment is in as you build a business. Maybe your assignment is in the ministry area. It really doesn't matter. Here's the thing. Every one of us has the ability to have influence. And this is one of the most important reasons why I say personal branding isn't dead. Personal branding is getting retooled. How many of you have stepped into being a digital business or having a digital presence? Hello, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and that sort of thing. Trying to figure all that out. Well, I want to apply it to your personal walk. And there's a very important reason, because here's the thing. If you don't recognize how important personal branding is, you will stay stuck. If you are an entrepreneur trying to build your business, trying to grow your business, trying to determine how to scale your business, if you don't understand these 4 things I'm going to talk about today, you will stay stuck. You will stay overwhelmed. From a personal relationship standpoint, if you don't understand the importance and the power of your personal brand, you will continue to have strain in your relationships. This is big. So I don't care where you are a leader, you are going to take these insights today and be able to apply them this week. And I want to hear from you. All right, here we go. Let's talk about the 4 things that work in personal branding and the 4 things that don't. But first, I want to pop back over here because we want to talk a little bit about how personal branding is used. We talk about it in terms of having a social media presence or creating opportunities for ourselves, giving us an inroads to be able to present ourselves a certain way in jobs. Maybe you're an entrepreneur and you're getting ready to scale. Maybe you're looking for startup capital. I don't know what it is for you. We talk about branding and personal branding as it relates to social influence, right? How many of you are following some sort of influencer and you have a certain belief about who they are? Or maybe you are involved in politics or the community and you are following somebody because you have a certain belief about who they are. That individual has a strong brand. And we know that the roots of personal branding started in the marketing sector, but it applies everywhere. So I have a question for you. How many of you are following a brand based on what you think they will give you? And this is going to be a little bit of a brain twister, but just come along with me for a minute. How many of you are following somebody or something, a brand, because of something that you think they will give you? Pop in the chat. If you're watching on replay, if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're watching live, what brands are you following, or what purchasing decisions do you make based on what you think somebody can give you? Come on, pop it in the chat. I need specifics. Okay, first of all, let's talk about the most important thing we need to talk about all day. Are you a Dunkin' roadie or Starbucks? Come on, y'all get in the chat. Don't be quiet. You know how this goes, right? You have an affiliation or an affinity for a particular thing based on something that you believe about it, whether you realize it or not, right? Amanda says she's both. Yep. Okay. Excuse me. I just like good coffee. Now, this I made at home, but y'all, if I make a beeline, it depends on what mood I'm in. But we all make buying decisions. Are you a PC or a Mac? Come on, PC or a Mac? Do you have are you Adidas or are you Nike? Are you McDonald's or are you Chick-fil-A? Did you know that every single one of those brands that I just mentioned is busy establishing and convincing you of something they want you to believe about their product? So we're going to take some of those insights around brand and apply them to ourselves. But here's another question. Tell me somebody that you know, a star, a celebrity, whatever, that has a strong brand. Come on. Who has a strong brand in today's world, whether you like them or not, but they're everywhere and they are killing it. They're selling stuff, like they're selling out auditoriums. Who is it that you know has a strong brand? Let's see, Dwayne Johnson. Let's talk about The Rock. And if anybody knows The Rock, I'm just saying, we'd love to have him here on the show. But anyway, Dwayne Johnson. Anybody else? A strong brand. Y'all are quiet this morning. I know it's Monday. Get a sip of coffee and come on in here. A strong brand. Taylor Swift. This woman, before she even hits the shelves, she has pre-sold her concert tickets, her streaming, anything she puts out. If she puts out a lyric video, anything, she sells out. Now, whether you like Taylor Swift isn't the point. The point is she has such a strong brand. People run to her. They seek her out for a very specific thing. And it's a thing to be able to go to a Taylor Swift concert. All right, how about some of the people in the news? Who has a strong brand? Like political figures, community figures, you name it. Think of somebody that has a strong brand. Okay, let's make it more personal. Come a little bit closer to your own life. Who do you know in your workplace or in your industry who has a strong brand? Doesn't matter if it's a positive brand, but they have a strong brand. I just dropped a little hint right there. Doesn't matter if they have a strong brand, but they have a brand. They show up, they get attention. Yes, Ron DeSantis, right? There's a whole campaign, and political campaigns spend a lot of money building somebody's brand. It has nothing to do, Donald Trump, that's right, strong brand, right? Love him or hate him, he's got a strong brand because all he has to do is show up or tweet or say something and people gravitate to what he's talking about, right? What about in faith circles? Who do you know that has a strong brand? Love them or hate them. Love them or hate them. In the world of ministry, for those of you that are ministry leaders, who do you know that has a strong brand? They're everywhere. Like you listen to them just because you heard they just dropped some music. Anthony Evans is one of the guys I follow. He is the son of, what's his name? Oh my gosh, Kim, help me. Franklin Graham, that's right. Strong brand. He is absolutely everywhere. He sells books. Billy Graham, strong brand. Okay, I'm beating a dead horse here, but what I'm trying to get you to see is that your brand, whether you intend to have one or not, you have one. Tony Evans, thank you, Kim. Like I just completely zoned. Your brand is incredibly important. And it really doesn't matter what world you're in. You should care about personal branding because regardless of the platform, regardless of your environment or your circles, your personal brand and the idea of branding is a growing trend, not a shrinking one, right? If you neglect that and say, I don't really need to think about my brand. Now, I want you to hear me really quickly. I'm not saying go out and build a website, but I am saying it's incredibly important in a digital economy, especially to understand the power of how you show up in the world. Your brand is what you say about yourself, what you believe about yourself, and what you want others to know and believe about you. Okay, understanding the components of personal branding creates a foundation for sustainability. So for those of you that are entrepreneurs, if you're just kind of flying in the wind and you're like, I'm not really going to pay attention to how I show up or where I show up or who I affiliate myself with, I'm going to say yes to everything. I want you to just kind of step back and think about where you're showing up. I'm going to drop 4 things that work in personal branding and 4 things that don't. So I'm going to give you what works, and then I'm going to give you the opposite of it. I'm going to give you what works and then the opposite of it. So you ready? Here we go. First, in personal branding, here's what works. Whether you are a workplace leader, you're an entrepreneur, you're a ministry leader, first, here's what works. Gauging how your brand is currently positioned. All right, let's talk to all of my entrepreneurs. Come on in here, entrepreneurs. How long have you been in business? And how do you gauge how you are positioned in the market? Well, Karen, I don't need to worry about that because I'm busy. I got contracts. Friend, let me just tell you something. As someone who's been in business almost a decade, a little more than a decade, I can tell you that making assumptions about how your brand is positioned is not a good thing. It will create blind spots. Or if the market changes, or if your customer changes, or if your customer decides, hey, I'll see you later, I found somebody that's cheaper, suddenly you are put in this environment where you have to understand how your brand is positioned. And if you miss it, we're going to talk about this in a minute, if you miss it, it will keep you stuck. It will keep you scrambling and doing double duty. How many of you have lost a client, or you had to replace a client? Maybe you fired the client, or maybe the market changed and you weren't paying attention. Let's talk about personal relationships. How many of you have been in a relationship and you made assumptions about the relationship? Maybe you went a little too far, or something changed about the person or the people that you were in relationship with, and you didn't see it coming. You know why? Because we make assumptions. We work on what we think we know about ourselves and our environment. So what's the antidote, or what's the opposite of gauging how your brand is positioned? Okay, what's the opposite? What doesn't work? Making assumptions about what you think you know. Coach Kim says, this is why I love to do 360 assessments with my clients. Can I just tell you something? I happen to know the 360 that Kim does. And if you are a leader and you're serious about focusing on your personal brand in 2023, go check out Do-Executive Coaching. Kim's ability and the tool that she uses to help leaders understand and kind of get behind why they are the way they are, how they're showing up, and how to remedy it, how to strengthen how you show up, is second to none. Go check her out, Do-Executive Coaching. She says, providing her clients feedback on how they're being experienced by others and how they're showing up every day. This is a game changer. Understanding how you show up every day is a game changer. It will affect every area of your life. So whether you're focusing on your business and you're looking at how you're showing up in the marketplace, or maybe you're focused on developing as a leader, or maybe you're trying to get some self-awareness if you're a ministry leader and you're trying to understand how you show up and you want to understand how to lead better. You want to understand how people experience you. Check out Coach Kim Dudash. There goes my alarm that's letting me know class is about to start, but I got 3 more. Here's the third power play, okay? Measure the gap between what you want, what you are known for. Measure the gap between what you are known for and what you want to be known for, okay? Measure the gap between what you are known for and what you want to be known for. The work for you is to make a plan for that gap in the middle. Now, let me talk to all of my experienced leaders. Most of you know the kind of bread and butter of my business is I work a lot with CEOs, executive teams, as does Coach Kim Dudash, and emerging leaders. But the majority of my business is focused in the C-suite. And I want you to know I see this happen over and over and over again. Somebody who's been in the business a long time, doesn't matter what industry they're in, entertainment, healthcare, technology, transportation, textiles, doesn't matter. Leaders who have been at it a long time, they're like, listen, I'm good. I have an incredible business. I did 3x revenue last year, Karen. I don't even know why we're having this conversation. I sell the most in the entire company, Karen. I don't know why we're having this conversation. Let me tell you something. The best leaders in the world understand that the gap between what you are known for and what you want to be known for can shift and change every single year. So if you are not understanding the power of your personal brand, what it is people know about you, you are going to miss something important. For those of you that are married, now I'm getting personal, and I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. For those of us that are married or in relationships with a significant other, if we make assumptions about what we think we know about ourselves, we get stale, right? We make assumptions. We take advantage. How many of you know someone and they have an impact in a relational situation that isn't good, and they just have a complete blind spot? So what's the remedy, or what's the opposite? What's the thing not to do? So the thing to do is to measure the gap between what you're known for and what you want to be known for. Okay? Here's what not to do. Rest on your past successes to avoid the work. Don't rest on your past successes. Friend, listen to me. If you are getting feedback from your customer, from your significant other, from your children, hello, parents. Oops. And I'm not talking about, y'all know, I'm a military girl. My daddy was a pastor, a military officer, and a professor, sometimes all at the same time. So this is not about making your kids soft. This is about building a relational type of personal brand. So you are not just focused on the doing. Remember what we said at the top of the show? For our entrepreneurs, sometimes we can get so focused on just doing more and having clients that we miss understanding the effectiveness of our personal brand. Okay. Maybe I will have, in fact, I want to make a note of this. Amanda, if you can make a note of this, I want to have you and Heather in here to talk to our entrepreneurs about branding. But Coach Kim Dudash, I want to have you on to talk about the importance of personal brand and some of the things maybe that you're seeing and learning about brand, about personal brand, and how we can shift and kind of take things to the next level. Third thing, here's the thing to do around personal branding. Connect your values to your brand. Connect your values to your personal brand. Let me just tell you, when I guess this was about a decade ago, right before I went into private practice, I was busier than I ever had been. I was a corporate executive running HR in 4 countries, reporting directly to the president. I had all of these things going on. Absolutely amazing career. I was busy. In fact, I was too busy. But because I was not focused, I was so busy, focused on just getting work done, getting things done. Let me tell you what happened. It created a blind spot. I had not taken a step back to observe how people were experiencing me as a leader. And you know what was happening? I was doing all the corporate things. I was trying to take care of my mom. I was trying to raise 3 kids. I was trying to do all of these different things. And it can come across as being chaotic. And for those of you that know me well, when this little ADD kicks in, and that is not a euphemism, okay, your girl's ADD, but when that kicks in, I can come across as being chaotic. And I experience myself as chaotic. Here's something that Coach Kim and I will tell you on a regular basis. How you show up anywhere is how you show up everywhere. I know. Just sit down if you need to. How you show up anywhere is how you show up everywhere. Did you know that? So if you are feeling chaotic, if you are feeling like you are strained in your relationships and it feels like that pattern is happening everywhere, can I just encourage you to just write that down? How I show up anywhere is how I show up everywhere. Now, that is not meant to be a generalization, but what I'm trying to tell you is vision-driven leaders, sometimes when it comes to how people experience us, even how we experience ourselves, those are indicators, friend, and things that you can work on. Coach Kim, we've got a show coming up together. I'm just saying, okay? All right. Here's the third thing that works when it comes to personal branding, and then I'm going to give you the thing that doesn't work. Here's the thing that works. Create a strategy for your brand's development. You say, Karen, that sounds so artificial. I don't want to play that game. Come in here. Let me just talk to you for a minute. I've heard so many people, like really competent leaders, and I hear this a lot from emerging leaders, like, I don't want to play the politics game, or I don't want to play the leadership game. I just want to do good work. Y'all, excuse me. It is spring and we family, so excuse me. But here's my point. If you are neglecting your own growth and development, if you are just busy in the hustle as an entrepreneur, if you are just busy being out there everywhere, trying to be all things to all people in ministry, but you are neglecting, or you are not focusing on understanding how people experience you, it will create a blind spot. You will stay stuck in relationships, in your business, anywhere you go. You say, well, Karen, I'm doing exactly what I want to be doing right now. And y'all know a majority of my business is by referral. But something powerful happened when I got this concept of understanding how personal branding affected me as an entrepreneur, as a founder, as a CEO. When I got a chance to step back and really understanding that I needed to develop a strategy for that gap in between what I was known for and what I wanted to be known for, I'll tell you something powerful that happened. I let go of clients that I did not need to be serving because I was not doing the kind of work that I wanted to be doing, right? How many of you as entrepreneurs, you say yes to a bunch of stuff and you're like, yep, knowing that that particular relationship is going to drain you, knowing that that particular set of work is not what you need to be focusing on because it is not your genius zone, but you got to get some money. Listen to me very carefully. Coach Kim and lots of other folks on here, myself included, can help you develop a strategy to understand what the path is between what you are known for and what you want to be known for. And every single one of us has work to do. And as you grow as a leader, you will need to scale your leadership. That masterclass is coming. How to scale your leadership. That is coming. I can't wait. Okay, I got to go. Okay, one more thing. Oh, wait, let me go back to the thing to do. The power play is to create a strategy for your personal brand, how to develop and grow into the leader that you want to be. Create a strategy and a path to develop your brand as an entrepreneur into the brand that you want to be. If you are working in an environment where maybe you are doing a lot of smaller types of contracts, maybe lower ticket types of contracts, but you really want to expand to create some freedom for yourself, I get it. Heather Cleverly and Amanda Bowen can help you do those kinds of things. If you are interested in understanding how people experience you, maybe you're a ministry leader, a community leader, a political leader. We have some political leaders in here. Maybe you are not really understanding how people experience you. Let's talk. create a strategy. So that's the thing to do. Create a strategy to develop your brand. Here's the thing not to do. The thing not to do is to keep making promises that you can't keep, to keep doing the same thing and responding the same way and not recognizing that maybe you need to take a step back. Here's the thing not to do, to make assumptions about what people know about you and just to keep in the hustle. Take a step back, friend. If you need some tools or resources, if you want to step in and really understand how people are experiencing you and how you're showing up in your own life and vision, jump into Vision Casters Academy. Jump into Vision Casters Academy. This is our monthly membership, and every month we do the work. Guess what we're going to be focused on in our upcoming masterclass, which is on this coming Friday, April 7th. We are going to be talking about pulse checking your vision, taking the work that we did in the first quarter around vision and actually beginning to map your progress. That focus on personal brand needs to be part of that, friend. I'm just saying, hey, Christy Kent. Oh my gosh. She says, you are your brand, regardless of what you're doing. We need to invest in ourselves and develop a great one. Absolutely. And Christy is masterful at this. She is a constant student. Okay. Last one, friends. Here we go. Here's the thing to do when it comes to your personal brand. Engage accountability partners. Call them support partners, call them whatever you want to. But here's my thing. Developing a strong personal brand is never done in a vacuum. It's never done in a vacuum. And let me just tell you, I know firsthand, feedback can be hard. It can be really hard. It can sting. And for those of us that are really heart-centered, the idea of feedback as a gift, what kind of gift are you talking about? Feedback hurts, right? Particularly when it's constructive or negative or whatever it is you want to call it. But when I tell you that when you get to the point in your life, in your business, in your career, in your family, where you can look past the sting of feedback and really understand how it can actually help you build that vision that you love as a leader, as an entrepreneur, as a ministry, whatever that thing is, feedback is an invitation. So that's the thing to do. Engage accountability partners. Vision Casters Academy, that's part of what we do every single month. We encourage and support each other. We have tools and resources to help you map a development plan every single month. Here's the thing not to do, friends. The thing not to do when it comes to your personal brand, how it is people experience you, is to ignore feedback. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I hear people say that all the time, but they just don't understand me. Friend, let me just tell you, it goes back to what I was saying earlier and what Coach Kim Dudash gave me an amen and a high five on. How you show up anywhere is how you show up everywhere. So this is not about, not being unique or not appreciating yourself. So let's not talk about, oh, nobody understands me. I'm just misunderstood. I don't want to hear that from anybody in this community. Okay, that's just the hard truth. Because the reality is we all get feedback in some way or another. Maybe as an entrepreneur, you're not doing the type of work that you want to be doing. Or maybe your business is starting to trickle off. Maybe as an entrepreneur, you are constantly in the hustle. That is an indicator that you may need to take a step back and look at how you're working. Okay. Maybe as a parent, you are getting the silent treatment. Or for me, I'll tell on myself. Here was one that happened to me. Early in my business, I was trying to do all things for all people. Y'all excuse me. And my son was trying to tell me something that had happened at school. So we walked into my office. And of course, the kids get off early. And for those of us that work at home, like that period of time when they come home early, like it can be chaotic. So he comes in the room and I look up and I say, Jimmy, and he says, I know, Mom, you're too busy. Never mind. And he walked out. Now, I know none of y'all do that as parents or grandparents or aunties or whatever. But for me, what a powerful indicator. that the brand I had with my son was mom doesn't have time. What does your personal brand say about you? Take a minute and use these strategies. I'm going to repeat them one more time. Use these strategies to identify your development plan. And if you need help, join us in Vision Casters Academy. John put the link in the comments. So for those of you that are on YouTube, or maybe you're watching this on replay, don't forget to put #replay in the comments and step into Vision Casters Academy. We've made it accessible for everybody, and every single month we're going to be doing the work. This coming Friday is our next workshop. We're going to be talking about pulse checking your vision. If you are not part of Vision Casters Academy, but you would like to join the workshop, we're going to be dropping a link a little bit later today so you can join the workshop and just kind of see our vibe. All right, I'm going to repeat them one last time, and then I got to run. So listen in. Here are the things to do when it comes to your personal brand. 1, gauge how your brand, your personal brand, is currently positioned. What is it that people know about you? Ask somebody, okay? Engage with your clients and your customers. Check in with your leaders. 2nd, measure the gap between what you're known for and what you want to be known for. Identify what that development gap is. And if you need help, go check out Coach Kim Dudash at Dudash Executive Coaching. She's got some tools that can help. 3rd, connect your values to your brand. People want to know what you stand for. Okay. And I think I missed that actually on what not to do around your values. The thing not to do is to develop a brand that is absent your values. So if you're just going out there doing everything, but you are not laser focused on what it is that you stand for, people will be confused. Your clients will be confused. 4, create a strategy for your brand's development. What is it that you want people to say about you? And how do we get there? It goes back to measuring that gap. And then finally, get some help, get some support, not from people who are stuck in their own ways. Y'all know if you hang out with fleas, with dogs, you're going to get fleas. If you hang out with diamonds, you're going to get diamonds. I'm just saying. Hang out with some people who are like-minded, who understand what it means to be vision-driven. Join us in Vision Casters Academy. John's going to drop the link one more time. I got to go, you guys. I got to get into class. I am so excited about the certification. And this is one of the things that I'm doing to develop myself. This adds to my toolkit, but also gives me a powerful insight on how I show up in the world. This is like I am a lifelong student and things I'm doing. So here's my question. I want you to drop in the chat, even after we sign off, drop in the chat when it comes to your personal brand, how it is people experience you, what it is people know about you. Even if you're killing it right now, I want everybody in this community, if you're watching this, if you're watching it on replay, I want you to identify one thing you're going to work on when it comes to your personal brand. Maybe it's just a matter of stepping back and asking questions, getting feedback. You know, there are all types of assessments. Remember, Dudash Executive Coaching, go check out Coach Kim Dudash. Or maybe you want to step inside Vision Casters Academy and start using some of the tools and resources every single month to make sure that you're making progress on your own terms. So from me and Heather and Amanda and Coach John, I just want to say, remember, friend, you've got options when it comes to your personal brand. This is the work that we do every single day, every single week. It doesn't matter if you are in the workplace or if you are running your own home. You've got more options than you realize, and I am determined to prove it to you. I will see you next week, everybody. Have a great week.